Seems to me people are just being stupid. It sucks. Like, they wouldn't want to be treated like this, but they're fine with me being treated like this. That's stupid. I'm just snub too. Jesus Christ, 16%? Why is it not fucking charging? Fucking Christ. Anyway, I called the DV hotline number earlier. I've called them before. I'll call them again, I'm sure. Just round and round in circles. Sometimes you ask Google who to call. Most of the places I get sent to call, I've already been to. Calling on my own. Oh, come on now. Where's my goddamn cane? Here it is. I have to deal with predators until someone gives a shit. Because if I try to turn into predators, I get talked over. Plain and simple. People don't want to try to understand how complicated it is. I understand that. The problem is that if mandated reporters had done their goddamn jobs from the beginning, it never would have gotten so fucking complicated. If I hadn't been bullied, threatened, harassed, and intimidated into moving repeatedly, maybe I could have gotten some goddamn services going. If these services that I'm sent to would actually take the goddamn situation seriously immediately, like they're legally required to do, yeah, things would be a bit different. If there was any decent people who actually gave a fuck when stuff happens to a man, yeah, things could be different. But no, people showed that they're full of shit. You say pretty words, that doesn't mean you're a good person. Or anything near it. When you're gaslighting a motherfucker, yeah, you'll say all sorts of nice shit. That don't make you a good person. And any of you who want to pretend that people who do that are nice people because they offer nice shit, no, they wasted time. See, sexism in America is primarily pointed at men.
Everything's awesome.
I want
Everything is
things,
awesome.
but I brought my eggs, so you know I'm old enough this time.
Doesn't want to stand with it.
4011.
Okay. So what were we doing for you?
I swear, I know I look really young, but I swear I'm at least 18 years of age, and I just want to buy cigarettes.
All right. Oops, I gotta get that flashing light. No, yes, not.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, it was. Okay. All right.
A pack of your cheapest full flavor 100s, whatever them happen to be. It's probably the crowns. And I promise it's not fake.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I don't know. $19.80. You're a baby.
Right? You know, lots of people say that. Every time I start crying, I gotta listen to that.
All right, go ahead. Okay, we got it.
Yep.
I'll be right there. 10, 11. Oh, yeah. And here, I have to get you the change, too.
Isn't that rude?
Yeah, they all should do it automatically. Except that's why the kids don't know how to count.
Oh!
Ooh.
I was gonna buy some of them smoke grenades when they went on sale, but they didn't. They just disappeared all at once.
Yeah, they have to send them back. They're not allowed to. It's like fireworks during the summertime. After the sale's done, they'll have to go back to the company.
So next time I should just throw a match into the pile while they're there if I want to watch.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Thank you.
You have a good night.
I'm trying to pretend to. Thank you.
Come on, it's lovely wonderful to sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you.
Yoo-hoo!
Come on, it's lovely wonderful.
Sleigh ride together with you. Your mama's a hoe. I want to tell you God's honest truth. Every single black person in America is racist against whites. All of them. You will not find a single black person who does not hold bias against whites. It's not possible. And here's why. Because any black person with the wherewithal not to be that stupid and ignorant is by definition not black by the black community's own standards. If you're not either being oppressed or pretending to be oppressed, you can't be black. If you ain't pretending that black people, that you are being oppressed by all white people, then you can't be black. If you're so disabled that you don't realize the color of your skin or anybody else's, you by definition cannot be black, which is amazing because I thought that we judge people on their content of character and not the color of their skin. Meanwhile, a homeless black man is not a black man to black people. No, he might as well be white. He deserves it. All Americans are shitty against the poor. The more poor somebody is, the more shitty you are. Even poor kids victimize other poor kids because they know they can't victimize rich kids. They got bitch-ass parents. Yeah, rich kids have the shittiest kids. Primarily because they don't believe their kid could do anything wrong. And if anybody stands up to their fucking kids, how dare they stand up to them kids, right? Oh, those are my kids. They better not. Fuck you. This is why America needs to be armed. People's stupidity. We don't owe it to women to bow down to every fucking paranoid goddamn thought that they have. Dear husbands, if you cheated on your wife every time she accused you of cheating on her, how many kids would you have today? Part of being in a relationship with a woman today is dealing with non-stop insecurities. You want a man who will shut up about his problems, pretend he doesn't have any, and listen to you talk about yourself non-stop. When that became a relationship, it was time to stop having relationships. And I'm not talking just boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm also talking about friendships. Women will literally throw away friendships of 20 plus years over a temporary penis. Also, if you're going to make a man choose between his friends and you, you're gone. Oh, well, if you love me, no. You love yourself enough for the both of us. Anyway, we should probably start up my car, right? Charge up my phone. Obviously, going to any woman in America, she's not going to take it seriously. Nobody takes it seriously when a disabled adult is being harmed. Instead, you ignore it and let it fucking happen. Oh, just heard a girl scream. What's the likelihood that it's something that needs to be looked into? On the bright side, at least people in this town showed me they don't care how much I'm abused. They don't give two shits. When they want to bitch about how bad it is, but they don't want to do anything about it. That's the problem with literally all of the people in this town. Yeah, they know what the fucking problem is, and they're not doing shit about it. They're just complaining to each other like a bunch of bitches. But none of them are doing a thing about it. None of them. None of them care until it happens to them.
We currently have blacks, Asians, Hispanics, Muslims, and then you also know you have the lesser beings, birds, fish, women, but we need one more race, so I introduce you the white person. Okay, where do they rank in terms of intelligence? About middle of the pack. Okay, where do they rank in terms of physical prowess? About middle of the pack. And I see here that his is pretty average size, so I'm going to go ahead and put down middle of the pack. Well, no, actually, their are typically in the 4 to 7 inch range. I'm bigger. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Okay, how big are you? About 10 to 11 inches. Wow. Shit. Okay, and you? Yeah, like 11 to 12 and 20 to 21 inches. Wow, so they're really far behind average on this one. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Okay, and you sure you guys aren't lying? Because I'm gonna have to even this out somehow. Yeah, no, I wouldn't lie about this. Okay. We currently have blacks, Asians, Hispanics, Muslims, and
Isn't that cute? So this is what I have to do to entertain myself. No friends. I've got fucking YouTube and Facebook. And that's fucking it. That's what it's been like since I hurt my fucking back.
We want this. We love this. We need this. But this, yeah, we don't need this.
Oh, wow. As a member of the African American community, we would like to humbly decline your offer. Since you don't want your own race, then maybe the Hispanics will take you instead. So sorry, you have been declined.
thank you for the referral. The Hispanic community, we're gonna have to pass it.
Oh, shit!
Asians though.
As representative of the Asian community, after careful consideration, unfortunately, I cannot take her. It will also be banned from ever taking out Chinese again. Though, we will offer her up to the Indians. After a not-so-thorough examination and as a member of the Indian community, we would also like to humbly deny this offer. Maybe the Egyptians would be interested.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but there's no way. Gotta pass this one back to the white boys.
No!
See, that's why I like TikTok, man. Yeah, everyone has good humor. Well, most people have good humor.
We want this. We love this.
Okay.
We need this. But this, yeah, we don't need this.
Oh, wow. As a member of the African American community, we would like to humbly decline your offer. Since you don't want your own race, then maybe the Hispanics will take you instead. So sorry, you have been declined.
Thank you for the referral on that. The Hispanic community, we're gonna have to pass it.
Oh, shit!
As a representative of the Asian community, after careful consideration, unfortunately, I cannot take her. It will also be banned from ever taking out Chinese again. Though, we will offer her up to the Indians. After a not-so-thorough examination and as a member of the Indian community, we would also like to humbly deny this offer. Maybe the Egyptians would be interested.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but there's no way. Gotta pass this one back to the white boys.
No!
See, that's why I like TikTok, man. Yeah, everyone has good humor.
Everyone likes good humor. Oh, this is cute.
I'll be the biggest smile anybody ever sees, anytime, all the time. 'Cause that's
Before we dive into today's video, I want to take a moment to share something that has transformed the way that I navigate the digital world, and that, of course, is Surfshark VPN, the ultimate solution to a modern day problem. Like you, I value my online privacy, and that's where Surfshark comes to the rescue. Surfshark acts like a virtual mask, hiding your online activities. No more worry about who might be snooping around. Surfshark is super easy to use. It's like fixing the suspect, and interrogators on opposite sides of a large metal table may make for more powerful cinematography. In real life, this setup violates several fundamental rules of modern interrogation. Large tables that create a physical barrier both inhibit the interrogator's ability to observe the suspect's body language and watch for non-verbal cues, while also creating an us versus you mentality. This is less than useful, as many interrogators now prefer to present themselves as a friend or savior that is trying to help the suspect, as opposed to a foe trying to nail them for a crime.
The problem is that I'm a fucking victim. I am a fucking victim. I don't need someone to pretend to be my fucking friend. I've got enough of that in real life. Meanwhile, pretending to be your friend and talking nice to you, this is a manipulation tactic. You can be friends with someone and actually be their friend. When you're pretending to be somebody's friend so that you can fucking harm them, you're a fucking shitty person.
These types of considerations are just a few examples of the powerful psychology at play within an interrogation room. And while many people are aware that there is some level of psychological trickery happening, most are ignorant of how effective these techniques are at getting confessions. This ignorance works in the police's favor. But how much of this well-respected psychology is real, and how much is just outdated, pseudo...
Even if you're not ignorant of it, if they can call you mentally ill, play on the fact that you have a penis, or you have no fucking money, nobody cares. The law is not going to be followed unless you have a friend or family member who cares. It's cute, huh?
Scientific nonsense. Also, how much is useful for solving crimes, and how much often results in false confessions and errant convictions. Alright, so before we talk about how interrogators pry confessions out of unwilling suspects, we need to continue dispelling many of the myths surrounding the interrogation room itself and talk about the very real ways that these rooms play a vital part in the interrogation process. So, let's begin with their construction. Standardized, best design practices recommend the police departments have access to at least 3 separate rooms, each of which should be soundproofed with a speech privacy potential of at least 85. This means that normal conversational volume is inaudible, and shouting is only barely audible, but not intelligible. This type of soundproofing is done to both eliminate distractions from outside the room, as well as ensure that multiple suspects being interrogated separately cannot overhear what the other is saying and alter their stories to match. To accomplish this, many guides recommend constructing walls using...
Now, by the way, these interrogation rooms are also supposed to be for at-risk victims to be able to safely make a report immediately. But police deny every single homeless person that right. They make us run around in circles for fucking days or even weeks to places that are supposedly going to help us, that all tell us it's not their job. They don't have a room for us to use. Well, then how are they going to do their fucking jobs as mandated reporters?
A mix of solid core concrete blocks and metal doors that utilize soundproof gaskets and mechanical gap sealers. This way, even the gap between the base of the door and the floor is sealed to prevent sound escaping. On the walls above the suspects, at least 2 high-definition cameras are recommended for recording, as well as multiple high-quality microphones to capture both the interrogators and the suspects' voices without issue. These recordings are vital for ensuring the accuracy of the confession, and the turning off the cameras trope that is often seen in movies rarely happens anymore. In fact, interrogators want suspects to know that they're being recorded because this puts pressure on them to be truthful as to not earn a charge for making false or misleading statements. Also, interrogators need to prove that any confessions rendered were not made under duress, so the cameras are rolling before the suspect even enters the room, and they keep rolling until the suspect has been returned to their cell. As for decorations, walls are barren, furniture is minimalistic, and an office-style colour palette consisting of muted colours is recommended. This is done to further eliminate distractions and make it seem as if the interrogator is the only thing in the room for the suspect to look at or interact with. The suspect's chair should be slightly uncomfortable, bolted to the floor so it can't be moved or used as a weapon, and located against the wall opposite the door. This way, the officers can sit between the suspect and the door, which subconsciously suggests they are unable to leave the room without the interrogator's permission. By American law, suspects are allowed to leave whenever they please, and they're not obligated to speak to the police at any time, even when in custody, but interrogators...
That's actually not true. They can call you mentally ill and literally do whatever the fuck they want. Your public pretender isn't going to give a fuck.
Don't want the suspects to think that. After reading them their Miranda rights, officers will do everything in their power to keep the suspect talking. Some guides that focus more on making the suspect comfortable say that they should be placed nearer the door to reduce stress, but this runs counter to how most interrogators prefer to run their room.
Goddamn. Look at my oh, God damn it.
Online classes start monthly.
Fucking cigarettes suck. They don't even get you high.
Most want the mood in the room to be heavy and restrictive. They want the suspect to feel as little sense of control as possible. Now, at the core of police interrogation is the tried and true wolnez technique. It's a technique that is used in some capacity in nearly every single police department across the United States and Canada. And that's for good reason. It is incredibly effective. Developed and perfected by John E. Reed in the 1950s, this technique relies on a standardized set of instructions that helps interrogators acquire confessions while also making their interrogations sound like normal, fluid conversations. It relies heavily on body language analysis to know when a suspect is responding well to a line of questioning and calls for the interrogator to judgmental and display patience even when confronting someone accused of a heinous crime. Once again, the concept
except they are
of
judgmental
screaming
and
detective
biased.
is an outdated one, as most interrogators prefer to present themselves as a friend. If done properly, the technique allows an officer to slowly push a suspect from claiming innocence to admitting guilt over the course of just a few hours. It does this by slowly breaking down a suspect's resolve and boxing them into a confession. But how does the Reed technique actually work? Well, in total, it consists of 3 distinct phases: a pre-interview fact analysis, a behavior analysis interview, and lastly, the 9 steps of police interrogation. Now, that might sound like a lot, and that's because it is, but stay with me. I'm going to explain how each step works, because the purpose of each step is both fascinating and also pretty concerning. The first phase is as simple as it sounds, a pre-interview fact analysis. This simply means that interrogators need to have an extensive knowledge of the crime that they're investigating before they enter the room with it.
Now, how many of these people have tried that? None. Not one of them. Nobody had any extensive knowledge of a goddamn crime that I'd committed. The crimes that I did commit, not only did I commit them, I committed them publicly. And I recorded them. I also recorded all of the efforts that I had made prior to having to break the law. I also recorded how many people were dying and how many of my friends and family were telling me that they were being threatened. It's not okay for people to threaten, harass, and intimidate the witnesses under threat or penalty of death if they come forward. And it's not okay for police officers to look the other way. If these people can tell me that they're being threatened, they can tell the cops these things. This is what shows them as gaslighters. I had to expose them publicly. Obviously, your friends and family weren't being threatened, or you would want to turn it in. Obviously, when you claim that you care about me months and months and months after allowing me to be treated like I was some sort of a schizophrenic nut job because I told the truth, well, holy hell. You pretend that I'm a bad person for giving out your personal information. Oh, you mean the part where you told me that people were threatening to kill your friends and family? So you were just going to let me fucking hang? All of these women, in specific, these were women who did this. Women who were able to convince men to do this with them. And that's not fucking okay. Cops are not people, none of them. See, I went in as a victim to turn in crimes that were committed against me. And I was forced to do so alone. So what did the cops do? They did everything that they could to try to frame me for crimes I didn't commit. They did everything that they could to fucking antagonize me instead of listen. They did everything that they could to lie to me and attempt to frame me for crimes I did not commit.
A suspect. This way, while executing the rest technique, they can quickly identify when something their suspect claims is not consistent with the facts of the case. The second phase is the first to directly involve the suspect, and it's known as a behavioral analysis interview. This is a process where officers will take time to sit with the suspect and ask a series of preliminary and non-accusatory questions that are unrelated to the crime in question. They'll ask for their name, their birthday, where they work, what they like.
Literally, they're trying to aggravate you. They're trying to annoy you. They're trying to waste time. What they're literally doing is letting you know, under no uncertain circumstances, that they don't really actually give a shit about anything you're trying to tell them. Then, of course, if they call you mentally ill, here's the part where it's easily defended, all right? As long as they're not trying to insinuate that you're mentally ill, or even if they do try to insinuate that you're mentally ill, you've got friends and family there who are saying, hey, that's not okay.
Do in their off hours, and so on and so forth. This is done to put a suspect at ease and observe how they naturally answer questions and establish what is known as their baseline behavior. By comparing their baseline behavior during these simple questions to the behaviors they display during more serious lines of questioning, officers can more accurately detect deception than they could in the past.
But it doesn't.
We'll talk more about
See, the questions that they ask don't show deception, it shows fear. We all know that if we have to turn in a police officer to another police officer, we're going to have to be afraid. Now, when people are asking me just the normal questions, I'm fucking annoyed. I'm trying to turn in crimes that have been committed against me. So how about we get to the point where you do your fucking job and help out a fucking victim like you're fucking supposed to? Instead of grilling them and wasting their time and lying and fucking manipulating like they're a fucking crackhead and they're trying to get some free fucking drugs off you.
Problem with deception detection in a later section. After the suspect appears to be growing comfortable and the officers feel that they have observed them long enough to recognize changes in their behavior.
And that sucks because I'm never comfortable. Now, if there's somebody with me, I'm able to talk a lot easier. And I'm less likely to be interrupted. Case in point, when Laura Nelson went with me. But here's the thing, she didn't go with me to turn in a goddamn thing. Just like everyone else, she wanted to fucking hide it. Then she wanted to say, oh, well, the reason I didn't speak up is because I was afraid you were going to put it on the internet. And I said, well, the only reason I had to put it up on the internet is because you didn't fucking speak up, you dumb cunt. What'd you think I wanted you to go in there for? So that I'd be allowed to speak. And so that when they're not taking a situation seriously, you can speak up. That's your opportunity to speak up. Women in America are evil. I can't describe them in any other way today. No woman in America gives a shit about you as a human being if you got a dick. Some women will fucking pretend, and some of them are real good at it. But in the end, it's what do they get out of you? And the problem we have with cops is that they're exactly the same way. Two things you'll never find: an honest woman or an honest cop. Every woman knows how to make empty promises. And every woman knows that she's not going to be held accountable. If she gives empty promises to a disabled person, that if this disabled person spends all this money on her, on what she wants, on what she's asking, on what she's expecting, then she'll help. When she knows that this disabled person is in a desperate situation and has no friends or family, so what's she gonna do? Make empty promises till she gets what she wants. Yes, that's taking advantage of an at-risk adult. And yes, that's exactly the situation I've been in. Most of these women aren't interested in helping anyone. It's entertainment to them. And after I've wasted all my money on their empty fucking promises, I'm told it's my fault. That's right. Meanwhile, we got all this bullshit going on. Now, what do I do with a bunch of fucking punk asses that keep making harasser accounts? See, that's the thing. I'm not using YouTube to be a fucking jackass. I'm doing it because there's no other place to be heard. None of these women here at Safeway are ever going to take time off after work. What would a friend do if you were being harmed repeatedly? They would take the time to actually listen and help, wouldn't they? None of these men care either. What are they going to do when I'm telling them what I'm going through because I need fucking help? And I'm literally telling them this. And all they do is change the subject. This is the most disrespectful and dehumanizing thing you can do to a victim. Jesus fucking Christ. So we get this retarded dude calling himself Vibe Killer, treating me like a retard. What do we do with these fuckheads? Well, you know exactly what we do. Hide user on this channel. We don't need fucking dumbasses on here being condescending shitheads. Come on the channel so it's documented. I also take screenshots of it so it's documented. This is a serious fucking situation. Jokes are not fucking wanted or fucking warranted. What's the difference between going to my friends for help and going to YouTube? Nothing. They're the same fucking condescending assholes you are. How about the cops? Same thing. When you're a male, you're treated like a fucking horrible person.
Thank you for calling the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Para español, oprima dos. For English and all other languages, press 1. We would like to collect some demographic information while you're waiting to be connected to a live advocate. This information helps us best assist you and informs future services. Are you willing to provide this information?
No.
At this time, we are experiencing higher than normal call volume, and wait times may be longer. If at any time it becomes unsafe for you to wait, please hang up and call back at a safer time.
It's never safe for me to wait. That's why I call now. Making me wait, making me call back at a later date. That puts me at further risk. Jesus fuck.
While you're waiting, you can visit our Get Help section on the hotline.org for information about programs in your area and to search our comprehensive resources directory. The hotline.org has important information on safety planning, understanding abuse, and how to help others who may be impacted by abuse. Searching these resources can be helpful while you wait. visit our Plan for Safety section on the hotline.org to develop a personalized plan that includes ways to remain safe while staying in a relationship. If you are planning
I'm not in a fucking relationship. That knocks me out of 90% of the quote-unquote help you bitches pretend to have.
Are you calling about someone you know who may be in an abusive relationship? While you wait, visit our Supporting Others section on the hotline.org for helpful information that can assist you in starting a conversation, learning how to be supportive, and understanding the dynamics that may lead people to stay in abusive relationships. We are experiencing higher than normal call volume, and wait times may be longer. If at any time it becomes unsafe for you to wait, please hang up and call back at a safer time.
It's always unsafe to wait.
15 minutes.
Jesus fucking Christ. Down to 13% fucking battery. This ain't exactly fucking sustainable.
While you're waiting, you can visit our Get Help section on the hotline.org for information about programs in your area. You can search our comprehensive resources directory. planning, understanding abuse, and how to help others who may be impacted by abuse. Searching these resources can be helpful while you wait.
No, searching fucking resources doesn't work. It just ends up with more phone calls for more quote-unquote resources that just ends up being more phone calls for more phone calls.
You can visit our Plan for Safety section on the hotline.org to develop a personalized... Thank you for calling the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Are you in a safe place to speak?
Ma'am, I'm never in a safe place to speak, but I have to anyway.
Okay, in terms of your safety, are you alone? Is somebody nearby where we're being monitored?
I am currently alone in my vehicle, but I'm also having to record for my safety 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with the ability to do so. I've got a guy, just one of my predators is named Andrew Wolnez. He's been harassing me, stalking me, assaulting me over and over again. He beat in the whole side of my vehicle yesterday. I've seen him today as well. I mean, I'm homeless. I'm stuck out here with a bunch of drug addicts. The cops automatically treat me like I'm a drug addict. I can't go to the hospital. They'll automatically treat me like I'm a drug addict.
I'm sorry to hear that you're having to navigate through this. And before we do continue, I want to let you know that we are anonymous and confidential, and that we are here to support victims and survivors experiencing crisis due to intimate partner violence. Are these individuals intimate partners who are using these behaviors towards you or against you?
No, this is a situation where a young woman who wanted to be my girlfriend, because she had a little crush on some old dude. She became my friend when she became an adult. We were friends. She was suicidal. I went to see her. She had a mental breakdown because she was on drugs. I had a mental breakdown because I'm an autistic adult who has to be close to his support network, or I'm easy to take advantage of and easy to victimize. But she had pressured me into going all the way to Virginia because she was going to kill herself if I didn't. So I drove all the way to Virginia. I did everything her and her sister wanted me to do, even if I wasn't even if I was uncomfortable with it. And then when I left, it was over a situation where they tried to pretend that I was stalking them. So it's not intimate, nothing. They tried to pretend some crazy BS. I don't even know what was going on. They were so screwed up on drugs, and they kept it up that way. But they also kept on slandering my name. I've been harmed repeatedly, one end of the country to the other, because Natalie Bollinger eventually got her brains blown out. And people wanted to pretend that I did it, that I was some jealous ex who couldn't take no for an answer. They got to get help by a lot of agencies that help women out if they pretend like they're victims. Meanwhile, they picked somebody to victimize who's broke, ugly, and not interested in sex. Meanwhile, all of the evidence shows that I am the victim, that Natalie thought she was in love with me, that I was not okay with that. But now there's all these internet things all over the place, pretending I was some sort of a super psycho stalker who couldn't take no for an answer and was raping little girls in Virginia. So as far as intimate partner violence, no, crazy people violence.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that all of those things transpired. You mentioned that there's now other parties involved as well. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. There were over 24 people involved in actually harassing me and threatening me for an entire year between when I left Virginia in 2018 and when Natalie got killed it was October 2016, and when Natalie got killed in December of 2017. Her and her friends had gaslighted me and made my life hell and assaulted me and threatened me and prevented me from being able to see my friends and family, completely socially isolated me. There was nothing I could do to defend myself or protect myself because I'm disabled. I'm physically disabled, but I also have mental breakdowns just like anyone else who has to endure long-term abuse. They harassed me on the internet. They made literally dozens of accounts to harass me. They literally threatened to kill my friends and family. Then they went and slandered my name and claimed that I made dozens of accounts to harass them, that I was threatening their friends and family. Meanwhile, I have the evidence that proves it. I never threatened to kill them or their friends or family. I went to my friends and family for help, and that was used to pretend like I was trying to stalk them. No, I was trying to get help stopping long-term abuse, repeated harassment, repeated assaults.
I see. Well, I'm so sorry. It sounds like this has been a very scary and terrifying situation here. It is outside of scope, not intimate partner violence. However, if you'd like to share with me what kind of support you're looking for at this time, I'd be happy to see if there's any services.
Let me explain it to you like this, okay? Andrew Wolnez beat the hell out of my vehicle yesterday over crimes I didn't commit. Okay, do you understand that? He has done this repeatedly. This is all over a girl who pretended like we had an intimate relationship.
I understand that this is a terrifying situation, but in order for us to be able to have productive conversation, I would have to ask that maybe you refrain from yelling and screaming at me, and we can.
Ma'am, I'm trying not to.
I can find.
All right, I'm trying to express to you that if I can't get you to listen, I am going to have to kill the man, and it is going to be on your hands for doing nothing. Okay, if you let this man harm me again, I am literally going to have to kill him.
I don't have any direct services that I'm able. I don't have any direct services that I'm able to provide, and so if you need services, you can contact 911.
This is exactly the blow-off I expected from sexists like you. This is exactly how men are treated when we're abused. She's gonna go ahead and disconnect. I already know how this works. I've got a dick. I don't fucking matter. You see what kind of actual help these pieces of shit provide? None. You just waste your goddamn time. Here's the thing, they were allowed to use domestic violence services that are just for women. All of these predators after Natalie's death got to utilize those services by pretending that me and Natalie dated. Me and Natalie never dated. Natalie never pretended that we dated. People after her death pretended that we dated so they could gain access to laws that they could use to prevent me from having my rights as a human being observed by pretending this is some sort of a domestic violence thing. And it never was. Natalie never once claimed we dated. She never once claimed I touched her inappropriately. She never once claimed that I assaulted her. I wait all day during regular business hours for people who promise that they'll help. But when they don't follow through and don't follow through and don't follow through, look how many people literally never follow through. And if they're not recorded doing it, they're not going to come forward and actually put a fight. None of them, because they don't give a fuck. If I have to beg them, they don't give a fuck.